Hi, my name is Owen Cooper, and this is my Unity sound design demo reel for the School of Video Game Audio. This video showcases some of the methods I used to recreate the audio for the game Angry Bots and how I implemented my sounds and music in Unity. In order to maintain an organized workflow, I created an asset list by identifying the original sounds in Angry Bots. I then added notes to different game events to plan out implementation methods. As I progressed through the project, I added and removed events from the list to fit the plans I had for the sound design of the game. Because Angry Bots is a sci-fi game with robots, I set out to record whatever motorized machines I had available to me. Right, so this is for the robot sounds. Got a power drill. A lot of the sounds in the project started in Native Instruments Massive. I created several new custom synth patches and during asset creation, recorded samples of the patches at different pitches to then further manipulate through digital signal processing. There are three enemy types in Angry Bots: the spider, the patrol mech, and the flying buzzer. The spider is a little four-legged suicide bomber robot, so I wanted it to sound small but aggressive to communicate a sense of stress as it spots and chases down the player. I layered samples from my massive synth patches to make unique alert and beeping sounds. The spider's footsteps are processed recordings of a box cutter, and its motor is made up of electric corkscrew recordings that are pitched up in Unity. The patrol mech is a large bipedal robot that attacks the player with seeker missiles. I created the mech's footsteps using power drill samples to represent the leg servos and combined them with recordings of striking a cluttered metal shelf. In the game, the heavy footsteps make it apparent that this is a much larger enemy even before it appears on screen. The flying buzzer is a drone-like robot that attacks with an electric charge. Since it resembles a drone, I created a patch in Massive to sound like a small drone's propellers. In the Unity editor, the sound has an exaggerated Doppler effect to create the illusion of fluctuating speed as the flying buzzer moves around the player. Each enemy type has a unique explosion sound, with layers of added character on the spider and flying buzzer. So there's no confusion about which robot's just been annihilated. For the player's weapon fire, I used a similar approach to what I'd done for gunshot audio for my Wise demo reel project. Using paper, my voice, and some metal objects, I created asymmetric loops for a punch, a body, and a mechanics layer. The unequal loops combine to create a much longer composite loop to help mask any easily identifiable looping pattern. And the sequence is topped off with a loop of bullet casings hitting the floor. I had to make some changes to the game's autofire script to play each layer's audio source together. I also edited the script to slightly delay the bullet casings playback when the player starts firing, and to slightly delay stopping it when the player stops firing. This way there's a sense that the casings take a moment to hit the floor and that they briefly continue to bounce afterward. I processed and layered recordings of my voice to represent the player character's pain and death sounds as they might be heard from outside his helmet. I wrote a simple script in Unity to play back the player's pain and death sounds from arrays while applying slight pitch variation, essentially random containers with pitch randomization. The most enjoyable part of this project was creating the map's environmental sounds. Rain and wind ambience loops were created by combining processed rain recordings from freesound.org with some recordings I had of eggs frying on a skillet. The wind layer is made from pitch-automated recordings of the inside of a freezer. The interior ambience loop is made up of freezer and air conditioning recordings pitched down with a few splices of the sound sprinkled in with a lot of added reverb. For different areas of the map, I simply pitch shifted this loop in the Unity editor. To make the environment more sonically interesting and dynamic, I added emitters to several of the scenery props around the map. The airlock doors were my favorite sounds to design, even though it took a few revisions to get them right. A bottle of carbonated water, power windows, a metal paper towel holder, and the door to my recording booth, all mangled and processed with copious amounts of reverb, come together to create a sequence that matches the animated mechanism on the door and communicates its weight as a huge, heavy metallic object. I implemented a simple adaptive music system that switches between two states, calm and fight, by crossfading between the two musical themes as they continuously loop during gameplay. I composed the fight music loop first since it would be percussion-based. I then modified and subtracted elements of it to create the more flowing, calm music loop. This made it easier to keep the two loops harmonically and rhythmically in sync. For music implementation, I used the Fabric Unity plugin to recognize event messages sent from the AI scripts in the game. When the player is pursued by a spider or patrol mech, or attacked by a flying buzzer, Fabric changes the combat parameter to enable the fight music. When this happens, a musical stinger plays and the fight music fades in. And when the player's been out of combat for several seconds, the music returns back to its calm state. Lastly, to provide the player a sense of reward for completion of the game, I also composed a short fanfare theme that plays during the ending sequence. If you'd like more information about how I created the sounds for this project, or if you'd like to play the game yourself and hear all the sounds and gameplay, please check out my website at owencoopersfx.com. Special thanks to Leonard Paul at the School of Video Game Audio, and thank you for watching my Unity sound design demo reel.